In many ways, the Bo Xilai trial is drawing similarities to the 1981 Gang of Four trial. As it turns out, our Beijing bureau chief, Jaime Flores-Cruz, one of the few journalists who have covered both trials, he joins us now from Beijing. Jimmy, good to see you. A lot of comparisons with that trial, a political purge, both considered show trials. But in some ways, the Gang of Four trial almost seemed more transparent.
It was. The Gang of Four trial was a very explosive trial in part because it featured Jiang Qing, Chairman Mao's widow, and her associates, political allies. And it was very different because the authorities in 1981, China was very tightly controlled. But to our surprise, they allowed the major proceedings in court to be broadcast on national television live and even replayed at night. So I still remember Jiang Qing making her defense against charges of treason, saying that everything she did, in fact, were for Chairman Mao. She famously said that I am Chairman Mao's dog, whomever he told me to bite, I bit. Now, of course, the authorities allowed such extensive coverage, not really for the sake of transparency, but because they wanted to demonize the defendants and legitimize the trial. John?
Yeah, it was amazing stuff to watch at the time. There's still this deep suspicion, though, that Bo's trial was more political than criminal. As you say, the Gang of Four, again, it was all about demonizing those who had been charged. 30 years on, some say that points to the fact that China's legal system hasn't really changed.
Well, Bo Xilai's trial is both criminal and political. Political because of his stature, his background, and also his position in the government and the party. Many things have changed the past 30 years on China's legal system. For example, defendants may now ask for their defense lawyers. Forced confessions may now be not admissible in court, but some things have remained unchanged. For example, there's still the kind of presumption of guilt once the trial begins. Also, there's that principle of leniency for those who resist. Leniency for those who confess and severity for those who resist. So the bar is high for the defendants.
So given those, I guess, reforms, if you like, over a 30-year period, doesn't seem much for 30 years, when most Chinese look at the Bo Xilai trial, do they think it got a fair hearing?
Well, most Chinese here think that Bo gave a very credible and forceful defense, but they also credit the court for allowing Bo to speak and even cross-examine prosecution witnesses. Even Bo himself acknowledged that. But many Chinese here are also aware that the official accounts that they have read through the official channel were filtered and only part of the truth. They also worry most about whether Bo will get a fair verdict. That is one that is based on evidence, based on the court proceedings. And many people doubt that. The court is expected to hand a verdict in a few days' time. John?
Yeah, it all moves very slowly there in China, as you well know, Jaime. Thank you so much. Jaime Flores-Cruz, live for us there in Beijing.